welcome back to Racey's Faith Journey. Today's video is really special to me. I'm going to share my testimony, how I went from feeling broke and stuck in toxic friendships and unsure of myself to finding real peace and joy through my relationship with Jesus. If you've ever felt lost or like you're searching for more, I hope my story encourages you and reminds you that you're not alone. Let's jump in. I was bullied and had toxic friendships. Even though I knew they were bad for me, I kept going back. I was shy, never stood up for myself, and felt sad all the time. It wasn't the best. I visited my cousins and went to church with them. I loved it and couldn't wait to go back. I didn't have a Bible. So when I went home, I begged my mom for one. The weekend before Christmas, my cousin gave me 3 special gifts: Bible highlighters and pens, a Read the Bible in a Year book, and my very first Bible. At the start of the year, I read for 3 months straight, non-stop. I stopped for 2 months, then picked it back up for 2 weeks. It was an on and off kind of thing. But even when I didn't read, I watched the church service on my TV. Now, how I got back on track was my cousin invited me to a Christian concert. I loved every second of it. It was probably my favorite concert I probably will ever go to, other than my Descendants Zombies World Tour one that comes up in a week. I'm so excited. Sorry, back on track here. After that, after the concert, I started reading the Bible again every day. And then, a couple months later, I found out her daughter was getting baptized. Watching the baptism moved me deeply, but I felt torn because half of me wanted to get baptized, the other part of me didn't. So, this past weekend, my parents were at a concert, so me and my sister stayed at my cousin's house. We went to church on Sunday and ended up sitting in the front row. At the end, like always, the pastor asked if anyone wanted to say the big yes. I looked back and forth between my cousin and her daughter, and they both asked if I wanted to, but I was too shy to answer. This is how I was literally standing there. Okay, so I'm standing like he told us to. Give me a second, sorry. And I'm literally like, I would step forward, and I'd kind of like lean forward a little bit, and then my cousin's daughter it was my sister and my cousin's daughter. I looked at her, my cousin was a section next to us, so I'm like this, and I looked at her, and she was like, she mouthed, "Do you want to go?" And I turned my head too fast because I didn't want to answer, and then I swapped legs, leaned forward a little bit, was looking at her, and she was like, "Do you want to go out there?" And I didn't answer her, so I literally put my legs back together, and I went like this, and I said, and then at that point, my cousin's daughter was about to grab my arm and pull me up to the pastor to say the big yes. So then a woman I'd never met before, came up behind me and asked me if I wanted her to walk me up there. So that way I had somebody by my side. So, and I said yes. She walked up with me to the pastor. I told him my name and that it was my first big yes. He announced it to the church, and everyone clapped for me. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for that lady, I wouldn't have done it. Not a way in the world would I have done it. So then the girl pastor came up to me, and she had me sign into this thing to have her help me with the next steps in my faith. Now I'm here, and I'm excited to see what Jesus has me do with this. If you're struggling or unsure about where you stand with God, just know He sees you, He loves you, and He's waiting for you with open arms. Don't be afraid to say your own big yes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to follow me on my journey. I love to walk with you too. See you in the next video, and remember, with God, all things are possible.